It is Tuesday, and I don't normally film my podcast episodes on a Tuesday. I like to have them uploaded by Monday so that my team has a few days to edit. So this is going to be the fastest podcast I have ever done. And the whole theme of this month is play. So the reason why I'm doing this really quickly is one, because I have lots of guests coming on soon. We've been working hard to book a bunch of different guests that are really awesome. And I know you're just going to love those episodes. And two, the theme is play. So I shared all about how I like to play last episode. And this episode, I'll just share a few things that have come to mind, starting with this sweatshirt. The third reason why I'm making this so short is that you can actually get out and go play. Go play with your guitars, go play with your friends. This is just a reminder that life does not exist in the screen, even though it can be really comforting sometimes. So, back to my sweatshirt. It's equally cold and rainy today as it was about a month and a half ago when I went to Sedona with my mom, which was so fun. And she was afraid that I was going to make her my content camera person, if you will, which she's helped me out with content in the past, so it wouldn't be completely out of the realm of possibilities. But I really just wanted to play and explore and have fun. On the way there, I stopped by the Cabazon dinosaurs, and it was freezing, and we were expecting much warmer weather. About 4 or 5 hours after that, after we stopped by the dinosaurs, we went to Phoenix on the way up to Sedona, and I bought this sweatshirt. And Pink Floyd, obviously, prog rock band. I'm not a huge listener, but I appreciate their music. I love the exploration that they've taken on the different albums that they have, and there's a few songs that I really love of theirs. This poster on this sweatshirt is from the Pink Floyd album Meddle. It came out in 1971, right before The Dark Side of the Moon, which was like their first big album that really took off. So this tour actually gave them international notoriety because they played in Japan. And we listened to this album after I found this sweatshirt on the way up to Sedona because, one, it's Sedona, and, you know, there's crazy vortexes and what else do you do on road trips? It's the perfect opportunity to listen to albums front to back. So one thing I love about this album is that it's just all over the place. They had, I think, 6 tracks, and the first 4 or 5 are just kind of your average blues rock songs. They're fun. They're digestible. Number 5 is called Seamus. This is the song about their dog. And if you listen to the lyrics, you'll get it. It's hilarious. They even include him on the track. The third song is called Fearless, which I love, and it ends in a chorus of people singing together, which always gives me chills. I never knew what they were actually saying or singing until this road trip when I looked it up. So, what is it, you might ask? The end of the track is a ton of Liverpool football fans singing You'll Never Walk Alone. Yeah, I just really love this song. I've always loved this song. I remember the first time I heard it, I actually think I listened to this entire record in 2017, and I was also on a road trip, but I wasn't driving this time, and I was on a bus, and this girl next to me got motion sick and threw up everywhere. I felt really bad for her. I was just, in my own world listening to Pink Floyd. So go listen to the record. If you're not a Pink Floyd fan, that's fine. You don't have to like everything that I like, but I just love rock music. And I think that this is just such a great album because of the variety of songs, as well as the attitude that they had going into this. There was no expectations to make a hit. There was no, at least I don't know. This was like the first iteration of the new lineup of the band. And to me, the album is just them getting on their feet and gelling and coming up with something that is like the very actual beginning of Pink Floyd. For those of you who know Pink Floyd but maybe don't know them super well, you might not know that the original member of Pink Floyd, the one who actually came up with the name, Sid Barrett, he was the frontman and the singer, and he kind of lost his mind. He actually left. Sid Barrett was a really talented songwriter. He was also a little bit crazy, and a lot of people contributed that to the amount of psychedelics that he would take, which you can pretty much hear on some of his own records. I believe he has records that are just him before he left, before he started Pink Floyd. Anyway, he was one of those like brilliant geniuses, but also a little bit crazy. But actually, he had to leave the group for his deteriorating mental health. So there's always a thin line to walk when it comes to staying present and experimenting with drugs. Just remember that when you're starting to get into mushrooms or ayahuasca or any of those mind expanding substances. It's possible to open too wide. Take Sid Barrett for an example. So back to the album. I really love this album now that I'm remembering this listening experience. But it's just all about play. And the best thing about this is like the very last song, it's really the point where they started to go into this space age rock theme. And they made one song that lasted 20 minutes or maybe 26 minutes, something absurd. You would never hear that today. It just makes me laugh because it's just so entertaining. It's like they're doing it because they're just having fun. They're just exploring, they're experimenting, they're making weird sounds. It's worth listening to, especially if you have an 8-hour road trip ahead of you. That's the inspiration for today. A little bit of a history lesson behind Pink Floyd. And if you don't have time to go on a road trip or listen to this record, I hope that you can at least find time in your next trip to the gas station or trip to the grocery store to just do something for fun. Make some time to play. Maybe it's singing along to a song that you haven't listened to in a while. Maybe it's catching up with an old friend. I'm not sure, but love this sweatshirt. Love this album. I'll link it in the notes on YouTube. And if you're listening and not watching the video, just stay tuned because we'll have a lot more juicy episodes coming for you very soon. And until then, stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. Bye!